investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Good morning, everyone. Basil Chapman here. This is the Tiger Technicians Hour on this Wednesday, the 22nd of October. And there's a lot to discuss. First of all, I need to go through the Dow chart. We made a top at 47,049 on the 3rd of October, came down very sharply, went down all the way down to 45,452. And then at a very strong bounce, where it goes to what I call a gray peak A, pulls back, and then goes to a new all-time high yesterday. But because it went over the previous high, I have to make that in blue. Underneath that, I could go into a gray, but now I have to have it blue. And I have to say, because of the strength and the MACD crossing back to positive and the 9-period moving average positive, stochastic still under 80% to 68%, I have to have an alternate count. So it continues the E, the alphabet just continues, E goes to F, but at the same time, there's a brand new chance that it's a B. F says, be a little careful. B says, are you kidding? Every single pullback you want to be buying. But look at this. It's the most important thing that I have to look at, and that says, first of all, there was a Chapman wave green inverted Roman candle at an all-time high. It says that at any point today, if there's like a 60-minute elevation that goes above 47,030, there's a real good chance within the day or tomorrow we will test the 47,125. If we pull back, and the low today so far is 46,789, and I was looking at this and thinking that underneath 46,700 says maybe we will test the low of yesterday. We'll see what happens, all right? But most important is that there is internal strength. If you look at the weekly chart, I mean, that is fabulous. Now, there's another thing, a technique that I developed a long time ago that says there's a technique that I use where I use a little mini channel. I call it the inside track repellent or propellant zone. Now, just before I do that, I'm seeing that, yeah. You see how important the 200-period moving average is? Look, here it is in the E-mini. Bumping against the 67.75 area, trying its best to get to a higher high. I think it's going to do that, but to break the 200-period moving average, and then you've got the next one in the 5-minute chart. This is the E-mini I'm talking about, at 67.76, and you've got it as support in the 10-minute chart. That is really important. So this line here, we're going to watch it closely to see whether or not we're able not just to break above, because if you break above, you've got to really have a concerted effort to get to the 67.78 or higher level, and quite quickly. I just need to do that because I like to do things live because it explains what's going on. Now, certainly a move below 67.68, we're at 67.73, and the E-mini would be negative. Let's get back to our story. And the story is we went right into this inside track repellent zone. We've been there so many times and got rejected. And let's see if we've got rejected this time, because we're pulling back. We're down 100 at 46,008. Not a big deal after the big move yesterday. I'm watching this closely. Why? Because there is internal strength, but we are starting to see a rotation into different areas. And those different areas are saying you got to be careful, because when you get certain sectors that are really tanking after making all-time highs, money comes out, and then it needs to go somewhere, and it wants to find what's working. And at this particular point, I have to tell you that, yes, our leaders are kind of still holding very well, but I'm just starting to see a little bit of a disintegration. Yesterday, we had 3 Dow stocks doing absolutely fantastic. Coke, McDonald's, and what was the other one? Microsoft was okay. Anyway, there was a third one, and that really helped the Dow to push higher. All right, now let's get back to the story. So Dow technically is still very good, but I'm monitoring it very closely to say, is this a potential double top? because the technicals are actually weaker now than they were at that high. And look at the on-balance volume, made it perfect right at the high, at 47,049 on the 3rd of October. High, and now it's lower. So I'm watching this very closely. I'm quite prepared to start short positions. We haven't done it yet. But in the meantime, it's this rotation through a very serious declines, and I'll go through those in a moment. Let's go to S&P. The S&P right now is down just a little bit, 277, 6732.54. That high yesterday with the doji candle. If we start to close decisively below yesterday's low of 6722.03, I'm going to have to look at this and say, whoops, that's that pattern that I look at with the, let me just change this now. It served its purpose. Now it's got a bigger purpose. And the purpose of this rectangle is to say, in my large rectangle thesis, and this is what I do, I've had webinars on a large rectangle and the narrow rectangle. There's a pattern that says, if there's a very sharp pullback and then the price starts to make higher highs and higher lows, it can get to a peak D underneath the previous high, right on or just above, and then if it comes back and goes halfway down of the rectangle and closes under the midpoint, that would be 66.60 right now. That would be a big problem. Okay, but there's another pattern, and that says if you don't do this consecutive A to B and then C and D, it's still possible. I have to consider there's always a counter. There's the upside and there's the downside. And that says you're making a very large arch formation. This is the pattern that I'm favoring right now as a priority because we've already done peak A, gray B. And if we go above 6764.58 to 0.59, I have to consider that it's E/B or C or whatever it's going to be. All right, QQQ. A little different because it went all the way to 613.18 was the high of October the 10th. And it went all the way to 612.80. I mean, just an eye blink away, even as we speak, from making new all-time high. So this is that same pattern because it didn't do the consecutive A to A, peak B, peak C, peak D. It just went straight up. I have to also put in the arch formation. And this is a really good clue to say, keep in mind that as long as the technicals are working and the 9 is very strong over the 14, and the MACD is now just gone almost to 80% to 79.91, MACD hasn't crossed positive yet. It's unchanged. I'm watching this very closely. Are we going to fold? Are we going to go to 603? Just 6 points down, and then it says, uh-oh, here comes the arch formation. All right, failing at a peak B, gray peak B. I want you to do the same thing with the IWM, very different. Just this is actually now starting to act quite weak. It's down $1.71 at 245.30. Now look at this, GDX. The GDX was at 85.09 on the 16th of October, just a few days ago, right? Today's low is 70.28, 15 points. I mean, that's what it's about 18%. So that's a big pullback. I've drawn in this Chapman arch formation with a Chapman inside wedge dash pink target support line, and that says there's a chance that by the 28th of October we hit 67.26. I'll be back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
TFNN has launched The Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
I just had a question if I would do a quick Chapman Wave analysis of the 10-minute gold A, B, C, D, E. Okay, pulls back, and now we've started another. There's the low, and that becomes an A. That becomes a B. There's your C, and there's your D. Okay, gold's springing back a little bit, minus 21. All right. And let's just do this. So it went right to the 200-period moving average on this last. Look at this. This is the. Move that over right there. This is the double bottom. We'll do that. So here we go. This is 5-minute chart A, B. C, D, E, and an F, taking a little digestive moment there. Yeah, okay, so gold springing back. The 4113 level is 4,113. That's going to be strong resistance as I see it based on the 200-period moving average. Let's just go back to the E-mini here. 2.5, it went to low lows. Now it's trying to bounce. Peak, this is a leg A. Yeah. So once again, the 200-period moving average of 67.74 is going to be the big test. So if it spikes through that, it says great. So this is what I'm looking at, just the GDX arching over left side, right side price time match. And that just says there's a chance that by the end of the month, we're testing 67.26, or before the end of the month, right? I would anticipate there's a bounce at some point. The bounce, though, has to get over 75. It has to get into the gap and then maybe arch over and come down. But in the meantime, anybody who's in gold or silver, that was a monster move in a very short period of time. And there isn't any news. That's the other thing. If it happens without news, it says that it occurred because it was overbought on a purely technical basis. All right, let's get on to the silver is trading. Silver's trading up 35 cents after hitting the 53.5 area just 4 sessions ago. It went down today to 46.82. Gold is trading hit 43.98. plummeted down to 4,021 this morning, trying to bounce a little bit, still down 28. Let's go to high-grade copper. High-grade copper is trading unchanged just about at 4.98. Let's go to crude oil. Crude oil is trading up $1.31 at 58.55. Now, is that an oversold level, or is that 200-period moving average in the weekly chart a magnet line? This is the line that says you're going to keep coming back to me no matter what happens, and that is at let me see, that's at 59.35. All right, and we're trading right now at 58.82. So we're going to see how it handles that area. Let's go to the TLT. TLT is trading up. So then we to peak C. Okay, we got leg D. Isn't that interesting? All these Ds, huh? So it goes to a D. It's down 12 cents at 91.88. It's a leg E in the weekly chart. Let's go to the TBT. That's the inverse. This is the yield itself under the weekly 200-period moving average. It's at 31.90, and it came down sharply. This is the last move. So let me just put the notation in here. Trough B, trough B, not V. V. C goes to an A minus right there, A minus, and that's an inside A right there, A, B. This is an overlapping wave, so this goes to D, D, E. This is the leg after the downside. All right, so the yields have gone lower. How's it affected the Toll Brothers, etc.? Toll Brothers, it's traded, had a very nice bounce from the 125-ish area. It went to almost 139. Now it's at 137. It's holding quite nicely. Lennar also had a very nice bounce off the low of 100, around 117. Trading right now at 127. Let's look at the dollar HGX. Yeah, it's the same thing. Had a bit of a bounce. The peak G was the high back in early September in the 780s. Comes tumbling down to the 690s. And now it's trading at 714. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. It's going to take quite a bit to improve that. So this is what I was saying, that when you're looking at all these different areas and you see some sectors that have had a pretty vicious down move, money then comes out and starts to look for a home. So identifying the home is being very important, because that was early September. But look what happened. Gold, a completely different, this is a commodity, this is not home builders, spiraled from that September area to an all-time high just 3-4 sessions ago, and is pulling back really sharply. And that just says to me that, now let's just look at the dollar. Right there, here's the dollar. Dollar's moving. Hey, what did I do? Dollar, DXY. Yeah, dollar's moving up a little bit. Not great, but it's moving up. If you look at the weekly chart, I've mentioned this, that the dollar is just slowly going off the lows and building a little strength. The weekly chart is getting close to having the 9-period moving average turn positive. And that's the reason why I'm saying I don't want to get overly negative, but we've kind of lightened our positions, some of them by themselves, others because we purposely took money off. Well, we have purposely taken money off in almost all the positions, but maybe not enough in some. And they've just been really off the spectacular gains. They've just been tumbling. So with that said, I've kind of covered that. I promised my subscribers that I would go through a couple of stocks. One of them is Alcoa. So look what happens. General Motors, it was more on news than anything else, but had a spiral yesterday to the 60, I forgot to type it in, to the 66, let me give you the high, 67.55 level. So what is 67.55? Well, have a look at this. It was almost hard to believe. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Look, the high of January of 2022 was 67.21, and it came from the low of March of 2021 at $14.33. And then it tumbles from 67.21 in January of 2022 to a low of November of 2023 to 26.30. And here it is in leg D, at a higher high. It made an all-time, well, not an all-time high. It made a recovery high, a multi-year high yesterday, and it's holding darn well. It's at 66.78.16. So I said, all right, well, let's just take a look at different areas. So I don't know the percentage of aluminum that's used in General Motors, in all the automobiles, but there is quite a bit. And I said, let's just have a look at this because it's gone to a peak E. It's pulling back. And a leg D in the weekly chart, and a kind of a bounce in the monthly chart after going to a trough E, and that was back in earlier this January, March, around about April or so, and it's had a pretty decent rally. So I'll be back in a moment. I want to look at some just certain stocks that I had questions about, and Alcoa is one of them, and there are many others that I've got questions about. I'll be back in a moment. Basil, EEM, emerging markets, we'll look at that as well. Dow is down 107, S&P is down 11. I'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tiger Technicians Hour is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Hi folks, we're back and we're looking at, this is very interesting. So this is Alcoa trading at 36.74, down 47 cents. Went to a recovery high to 39.28 in leg E, a peak E actually, 3 days ago. And it's down 58 cents to 36.65. So that says that the 9-period moving average, which is on right now, has the 36.16 as the 14-period moving average as support. And the only reason why I was looking at it is if we start to see Ford, let's see if Ford's holding its gains from yesterday. It's down a little bit, down 12 cents at 12.45, and it did make a peak D in the weekly chart. Still leg A, yes, leg A in the monthly. So there's your D. Let's put that in. Okay. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, therefore, they've got to be using aluminum, maybe steel. I don't know how much it is. I should look it up. I'll do a little research on that, but I haven't done it right now. I did at some point, but it's not updated. So here we go, back to Alcoa. So Alcoa has done very nicely. If you look at the monthly chart, it's making this W formation, soft. I call it a soft W. You see this cup formation, now the second cup, and it's kind of stalling. It has a shorter term trend line right there. Right there. Okay. It says it really needs on the monthly basis to not just hit, but take out. This monthly would be at 41.56. But actually it's 42. It needs to trade in the 42s. 42 is 5.5 points higher. Ooh, that's something to make. So that means it's an ongoing process. Look, the MACD is positive. 9-period moving average hasn't yet crossed positive. The stochastic's weak at 40%. On-balance volume is really good. But look at the weekly chart. Weekly chart, everything here is good. 200-period moving average 35.29. It's above that. 9 is above the 14. MACD is just steadily strong. The relative strength is improving. Stochastics dropped under 80% to 76%, and the on-balance volume is good. So I'm watching this very closely to say, will this give me clues that there's a rotation going on in the market, and that rotation is going to go to other areas, mainly the deep cyclicals. I mean, Alcoa, this is deep cyclical. This is the stuff that it's not transitory. When this really gets going, it usually goes for a while because it takes a lot of effort to build momentum in something that needs so much capital. It's capital intensive and labor intensive. All right, so that's Alcoa. So I'm showing you the chart. It's on the 9 at 36.71. And 36.16 is the 200-period moving average. It hasn't closed under that since it broke above it on 26th of September, going from 31.45, and the 9-period moving average crossed positive. So 31 to 39, that's a very nice gain. So I'm watching it closely. All right. Next question was EEM. The EEM is the Emerging Markets ETF. Huge move from the low that was made in April to let me just see. I believe that should be not an all-time high, but it's done very nice. Yeah, that's right. The all-time high was this, look, peak A, peak. I had this all notated. Of course, something happened. I lost it. I just did it over recently, but I haven't finished it. So that's your A. I like to do this going back because it tells you, is this an instrument that loves to go to Ds? And if it does, that's very important. So it goes to a peak D, pulls back sharply from the 50, say, 2 area down to the almost 30. It rallies from February, no, but maybe March of 2020 at the low of 2020 March, goes to peak A, peak B. And I shouldn't have put that up arrow in there because this is the low. This is still active to today from the low of March of 2020 at 31. Hey, come on. Getting it. Hey, something's going on. There's a lot of activity here. 30.10. That was March of 2020. Screams in leg A, peak A, leg B, peak B, and then that peak B right there becomes the top. back in February of 2021 at 58.29, and it comes down sharply, but it doesn't take out the low of 30. It goes down to 33.49 in October of 2022, and then it goes peak A, peak B, C, D, E. Very sharp pullback, but the 9-period moving average never went negative, and it ran all the way to the recent high of a few days ago, right here, to the 54.45 area. Okay, so that's doing this is emerging markets. All the technicals are very strong. The stochastics at 94.4% in the monthly chart. That's fabulous. It's gone to a doji leg D after an instant restart back in July, and here it is in leg D, and it went to a new all-time high, a new recovery high, multi-year high, just 3 days ago to the 55 area. It actually went to 55.03, and it's holding well. So that just, and the technique here says very good action, and it's more like a V-shaped pattern after looking like it was going to do the rectangle formation, but it went above. And that's really important. And it did the V-shaped pattern. I should put V-shaped patterns in with a straight line, but it's hard to see. So I'm just going to do it like this and like that. There are. Okay, so I'm watching it's almost like the Dow. It's the same sort of thing, holding technically quite well, but we're going to watch it very closely. So that's the EM. Where would it fail? That's tough to say because 54.13 is the 9-period moving average and 53.94 is the 14-period moving average. I would say if it took out in the next week or two, if it took out this candle on the 15th of October, the low was 53.51. So let's say under 53. And it's not far away. It's $1.50. But under 53, I'm thinking that this could fail. So far, it's doing very nicely. All right. Next question was, let me just go to the Tiger YouTube. No, I'm going to go to the Tiger for a moment. Let's just see. I had a couple of questions. Yeah. One is, can you please look at NVIDIA? So now, to me, this is really important. For about 4 weeks or more, I've been saying, it's about 4 weeks. I've been saying to subscribers, NVIDIA is really important. I wanted to short it. I wanted to short the semis, but you keep getting this aberration, this 1 or 2 semis just spiral to the upside. But I think that at 195.62 on the 10th of October, NVIDIA made a very serious top. Serious meaning it isn't daily, it's possibly a weekly top, and it's already into the second week of this consolidation. Under 175, that's a real problem for NVIDIA. I'll be back in a moment. Dow's down 118, S&P's down 22. Basil Chapman, Tiger Technicians Hour. See you in a moment.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
And we're looking at Oklo, which is Oklo Inc., clean energy, also nuclear startup. I mean, nuclear was the word of the day for quite a while. It made a high at around 192 just 6 sessions ago. It's now at 118. I mean, that's 80 points. That's the Eiffel Tower. Straight up, straight. You especially see it in the weekly chart. I'd be real careful. It's got to hold this area right here. The low of, why did I make that? That should have been, let me just check. 108.54 and 109.29. Yep, that was the low. So it has to hold 109 in the next few weeks, or else it's just kind of empty space. It goes down quite a lot more. So that's the speed with which we've had these turndowns, and I'm worried about that, because that means there's money that's trapped. All those people that bought from the 3rd of October at 122, watching it go to 193.84 on the 15th, they're all in losing positions. And you can see by the volume was starting to increase at that particular point. So I'd be careful. So the upside, somehow or other, if it's able to, that 9-period moving average hasn't crossed negative yet. But if it doesn't, and there's a real nice bounce in the next 2 days, going to the 140, that's 30 points. Well, it's down 20 points today alone. But if it can get there, that will be very important. But I just don't like what I'm seeing. Next question came in about, what did I do with that? GATX. GATX is GATX Core, Leasing and Asset Management, Rail Car and Tank Containers, Leg D in the monthly, Peak D in the weekly, and a Peak F at 178.26 around about the September the 18th or so, and it comes tumbling down, makes a low yesterday, goes under 162, and then whoosh, today it's up 5 at 168.39. That's the kind of spring you want to see to the upside on these very sharp moves down. But this weekly chart is very positive, and all I can say is that if it once again goes into this weekly candle of under 160, if it can't hold 165, today is already Wednesday. Yeah, we go all the way through Friday. If it goes under 165 before Friday's close, Friday at 4 o'clock, wow, that says it could retest the low of yesterday at 161.80. What was it? 161.61. It's this really important because the 9-period moving average did go negative, but that weekly is so strong. I see strength in this. And all I can say is that I'd like to follow it. I'm going to put it down here as something to put. I'll just put it on the side. GTAX, and I'll circle it. We need to follow this. I don't know whether you were looking at it. What's my view? My view is, Tiger YouTube, my view is that it made a dreaded H twice, and now it has to make a V-shaped recovery. But what I really think is going to happen is going to be a slow consolidation. And I'll even put this in here to show you what I'm really looking at, and I'll make it in the weekly chart. So it has to trade above. There we go. It has to trade above this week's high, and that's in the 172 area. And it has to do it within 2 weeks without taking out yesterday's low. If it takes out yesterday's low, it's going to be more concerted effort to try to get positive. Next question came in about AVGO. AVGO. This is not a Vagio. This is broad. Oh, is that what you wanted? You did want AVGO. Yeah, Broadcom. Yeah. So that's this dreaded H pattern. It made a high, all-time high, just back in September at 374.23. I remember looking for round numbers. I didn't see any. So that was kind of impressive. Then it made this cup formation. Now it's failing, and it's going to make it a potential dreaded H pattern. That's my concern, is that we're seeing deterioration in areas that have been extremely strong. And because of that, money comes out of areas that are being good, but people don't want to be hanging around. And that's my biggest concern. Look, we're now down 164. If today we're down at more than 280 in the Dow and more than about 38 points at the close for the S&P, I've got to look at this askance. I've got to say, not good action. So in the meantime, the weekly chart has made a PXC, and this is Broadcom, one of the great semis. And I'm just looking at the semis. I'm saying, wow, I've been worried about. Well, why did it just slip my mind? The one that I follow all the time. Okay, let me just look at the SMHs for the moment. Yeah, 338.39. NVIDIA is, so it's down 7. NVIDIA is down 1.60. I'm a little worried about this market. I've been for a while, but we've tried to be selective. We've got buys in certain areas that they should be going separately from the general market because they have independence. That's in the sector that they're in. We'll see. So NVIDIA, yeah, that was, Eiffel Tower, yes, but it was all in one move. You're absolutely correct. That is. Eiffel Tower is this. It's just the pattern that I talk about. It's an uppercase A. It goes straight up. Where did I put it? A. It just goes straight. And usually what I do is I say, this is the A, and I put in a, there, and another one. And I say, it's just an uppercase A. And of course, you can't look at it like that. You got to look at it like this. 43. There you go. There are, and I usually make it red. I wish I could make it bigger. And that's what it looks like. And you can just use this particular template. There's your A. Let's go. I can't do it. I thought I could capture it. Let me do it. Can I save it? No, I can't. All right. But that's the pattern, right? This is the one. Oclo is perfect. Look, there it is. There's your uppercase A. Looks like an A, right? I could put the A over this, and it's perfect. Okay. So with that said, another question came in. So, Capone, I hope that helped you with your GATX position. And now I'm going to go to, if I can do that, here we go. Still got a bunch of questions that I need to get to. Did that. Can we review the tankers? So this is very important. So TK Shipping went to a peak E at about 8 $8.90, something around there. Then it came down. There's your A. Same thing. It isn't straight up and straight down, but it has the pyramid pattern. And now it's running quite sharply. It went to a peak C in the weekly and a peak. It's a little hard to say. I've got it as an alternate count. Probably a peak D in the monthly. I think these are in play, but it's very hard to peak in your position. You like to get it, and you probably had them for ages and ages. So that's what I'm looking at right now. That the only way I would do it. Look, same thing with NAT. This is Nordic American. This has gone to higher highs. So you just got to, and they're all very low price, $3.42 for NAT. You just got to buy them, and you can't really wiggle and woggle. You just got to hold them and look at it in 2 months.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Hi, so a question came there from Tiger YouTube. You were short the Dow. What happened? Yeah, well, we were short the Dow. We got short the day before, that Thursday before the Friday cascade. When Trump mentioned China right there, and we plummeted, so we took profits, and then we were out, and now we're still back to the long side. But I have no problem adding back to the short side. I have to see the market. Look, the indices have held well. If you go to General Electric, I mentioned this when I was interviewed by Tommy yesterday. I said made an all-time high, 316.53 yesterday, with a long-legged doji. That's where it looks like a plus sign, but in this case, the shadow, the wicks, look how huge that was. I was very nervous about it. I said, I don't like that. That looked kind of toppy to me. at 316.53. It's trading at 298 now, down 7. So individual stocks, I mean, look at Robinhood. Robinhood trading at 153.56 on the 6th of October. This is still October, and it's down to 124. I mean, these are big moves to the downside, but we haven't seen it reflected yet in the indices. And that's the thing. And not only that, it's happening with kind of shadows of news, bad news, but not anything really bad. There are a lot of things that look actually quite positive. So I'm waiting to see, do we see the indices actually start to fall because some of the key stocks are starting to really move down sharply, and that's really what I'm monitoring. I'm very cautious. We're only putting long positions in only areas that I think can be independent of the general market, and even then, when the general market really comes down sharply, almost everything comes down. So I'm trying to. We raise cash, and I'm kind of cautious at this particular time. I think the upside is limited, but we haven't yet got the indication to say that the downside in the indices is going to turn down sharply. It could, hasn't yet. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Check out my Opening Call Daily newsletter. Stay tuned for Steve Rhodes and all the rest of the programming. See you tomorrow.